Gravity is invisible, but it controls everything. Once something falls into orbit, it doesn't decide where it revolves. Gravity decides. Negotiation works the same way. Once a number enters the conversation, everything begins to orbit around it. In physics, gravity pulls objects toward a center. In negotiation, price creates psychological gravity. The first meaningful number anchors perception. It defines what feels expensive, what feels reasonable, what feels negotiable. And most sellers surrender gravity too early. Let me show you what happens when gravity shifts the wrong way. A buyer asks early in the conversation, before we go deeper, what's the price? The seller, wanting transparency, answers immediately. It starts at $48,000. Now gravity forms. Everything that follows orbits around. Buyer evaluates features relative to cost. The discussion becomes comparison. Value shrinks. The seller feels pressure to justify because they gave away gravity before establishing context. Nothing was wrong with the number. The timing was wrong. Same scenario. Buyer says, before we go deeper, what's the price? This time, the seller responds calmly. Pricing depends on scope and impact. Before we anchor to a number, can we clarify the problem we're solving? Short, direct, no evasion, no defensiveness. The seller establishes value context first. Now, when price enters the conversation, it lands inside meaning. Gravity works in their favor. The number is no longer floating alone. It's tied to consequence. Why does this matter? Because human psychology works like this. The first number heard becomes reference. Everything else is judged relative to it. If you anchor too early, you shrink the conversation. You trigger comparison mode. You weaken leverage. If you anchor after value is defined, price feels proportional. Decisions feel rational. Resistance decreases. Gravity isn't about hiding numbers. It's about controlling timing. Amateurs answer quickly. Strategic professionals sequence intentionally. They understand that once gravity forms, it's difficult to reverse. They don't rush to satisfy curiosity. They build context before numbers because leverage isn't created at the end of negotiation. It's created at the beginning. If you've ever felt price pressure escalate quickly, ask yourself, did gravity shift too early? Did the number enter before the value was clear? This week, we're breaking down how sellers lose leverage in negotiation. And it begins with gravity. Because once orbit forms, everything follows. The success lens, change the lens, change the outcome.